The Joe Rogan Experience.
But I think what's interesting is like that kind of stuff is so much less satisfying to bring it back to like what you do than like something that you have to really work for, and it's really difficult, and it's a very visceral, real feel. Like the feeling of accomplishment you get when you do something virtual will never be able to compare with the feeling that you do when you do a physical, visceral thing, when you feel it in your fucking bones.
Yeah, you feel it, you live it. I when I was doing World's Strongest Man in Botswana, Africa, I tore my bicep, and I just was getting beat up over and over again. I was just so wrecked. My body wasn't accepting. Because I went from football to strongman, and in football we'd never done deadlifts. It was all hang cleans and power cleans, which, by the way, just quick little tip, deadlifts, if you're deadlifting to be a better deadlifter, fine. If you're not doing that for deadlift's sake, then don't fucking do it. The risk to reward ratio is a joke.
For deadlifts?
For deadlifts.
Really?
And a lot of people aren't going to like that I'm saying that. But if you go into any NFL gym, in any Division I college football gym, in any athletics where people are actually getting paid and it matters what they're doing, they're not deadlifting.
Really?
They're hang cleaning and power cleaning.
Why is that?
Because the risk to reward ratio, like it's so hard to be a great deadlifter and to not risk your low back and to be using your upper back properly, and just there's so many little chances for you to get hurt. Hamstrings, deadlift. That was me. My first World's Strongest Man. I was the only rookie in the finals.
Bro,
China.
How much weight is that?
That was 880 pounds, 400 kilos. Me and my pink chucks.
And
I weigh less than that now. I'm less of a bowling ball, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they made those weights ridiculous looking too.
Right. Well, that right there is something we overhead press too. So they'll take some of the weights out of it, and it's so flimsy when you clean it. It's like basically like holding that earthquake bar that you have out there.
Oh, really?
It's just like that, and it's fucking brutal.
So they take weight out of that round thing? Like, what is in that round thing?
There's several different attachments to it, so maybe some of them weigh different. I've never been a part of that, but either that or it unscrews at the end and they take weights out of it. And I'm not positive. Exactly
so you leave the NFL or you leave playing football, and were you in the NFL?
No, I had a brief shot at it. Never actually got to do it. No, it was.
So what kind of transition? Like, what is the transition to get into strongman?
Went from that to I was a security guard in Santa Cruz. There's this place called the Catalyst, which is where I worked for like 6 years. It's a really cool bar/concert venue. So I was like spoiled. I got to hang out with Rob Zombie and Willie Nelson and shit. Yeah, it was cool, man. I was spoiled. Rob Zombie, I geeked out really hard for.
That's dope.
It was fun.
Yeah, we're working on getting him here.
Dude, he'd be awesome.
I'm sure he would be. Yeah,
he was really cool.
I'm sure he is. Like, he's really into horror movies, man.
Dude, and he does the best ones.
Yeah.
I love his horror movies, man.
They're wild.
I'm a huge fan. He's like the Quentin Tarantino of horror.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But it's such a weird transition, Yeah. You got going from being a rock star to a horror film director.
Yeah. He's just crazy in the head. And his brother is actually the lead singer of Power Man 5000.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. In the family.
So I went to security, and I was working there, and a buddy of mine who I'd played junior college ball with was just obsessed with strongman, and I'd never heard of it. I never watched it. Like, when I was growing up, we were poor. Like, there was 10 of us in a 3-bedroom house, and from high school on, like, we didn't have electricity. So, like we didn't watch TV. We would play outside. We had a trampoline.
You didn't have electricity in high school?
On the weekends, my dad worked for Caterpillar, Cashman Equipment. So on the weekends, he'd bring home a little generator, and he'd plug that in, and we'd have like 3 things we could use. But that was it. Like, the hot water heater would work for the weekend, and then like maybe the TV on Saturday night or something, like TGIF or something.
Fuck.
But I mean, as a kid, it's not that big of a deal, Like, you just go play with your brothers outside.
Right.
So, but like, I never knew what strongman was because of that. I mean, I had no idea. So he was obsessed with it, and he kept trying to get me to do it. And then went home and Googled it, checked it out. Actually, I don't know if it was Google. I might have YouTubed it. Back then, it was who knows what we had. But, I was excited and went and tried it out. And first day, the amateur world record at log press was like 320 pounds at the time. And I had no idea. But the first day I hit 330 pounds and just put it down. And I looked over at my buddy and I was like, how'd that look? And he's like, get the fuck out of here. You know, like he's been trying his whole life to do this. I just came in and took it. And then 6 months later, I was competing in England and I had my pro card. 2 months after that, I was in China at that photo right there, World's Strongest Man. I was the only rookie in the finals.
So is it the log thing? Is it the awkwardness of like holding onto a log and getting it under your hands? And
yeah, and it's a lot healthier for your shoulders. Instead of being, how would you call that with your hands right there? Instead of
pronated or supinated. Yeah. I don't forget which one is which.
We're the worst.
I like it when trainers use that though. I go, oh, you know what you're talking
this
about.
This guy's got his shit together. This fat dude eating French fries. So
so it's better for you to do
it's much better for your wrists and your shoulders.
Makes sense.
And also like that's what
there it goes. Jamie's showing us pronated grip, supinated grip. So yeah,
neutral grip is much better for your wrists and shoulders.
Okay, like so handles like this. They say that with bench press as well.
Yeah,
like those benches. They have new bars.
The
that
football
have handles.
bars from Rogue.
Yeah, those are dope.
Awesome. Rogue makes good equipment.
Yeah, I use all their shit. My house and here.
I know.
Then they don't pay me. It's not free. I buy all of it.
Same here. I don't work with them either, but they're the best.
Yeah, it's the best shit.
So we went to Worlds and then I totally lost the whole getting hurt thing.
So you won. First of all, you beat the fucking world record log press the first
amateur
time out.
World record. Amateur world record.
Ever.
Yeah.
Your first attempt. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So it was good. And then
what's the pro record?
Right now, the American record's been mine for 4 years, and that was 211 kilos, and that's
what is that? Pound
fucking 468, something like that.
Is this you here?
This is me. Yeah, this is in Australia, in front of Arnold.
Jesus Christ.
Arnold
was there?
Yeah, that's his show. That's his competition.
This is my competition. This is a log press right here?
Yep. That's a skinny log too. This was a hard log to use. But this was a buddy of mine had that record and he'd passed away, and I wanted to be the one to take it from him after he had died. And that was this moment.
Jesus Christ, that looks heavy.
And you show off a little bit too. I like to do this after I get it up.
Wow, so that's the world record.
American record.
Who's the world record?
The world record, I like to hold it up there and talk shit. Every time you see a record broken, the guy gets it to here, and then he just throws it down.
Right.
I'm like, that don't count. That doesn't count. So the world record is 219 kilos, I believe. Something like that. Something right around there. It might have been 220.
How close are you to that?
I can break it right now.
Yeah.
In January.
Break that shit, Robert.
I'm going to London. I'm going to give London a little introduction to Texas. What do you call it? Texas pride and
Texas powerlifting.
For sure.
Wow.
I'm excited.
So you go and you break the American amateur record right away.
Right.
First attempt out. And is that when you felt like, fuck, I could do this shit?
Yeah. I went home and I told my fiance at the time, we were living in a studio and we were just broke. And I was volunteer coaching and I was for high school, which is my passion, high school football. And then I was working at that club at night. So I didn't have a lot of time, but I was like, I can make this happen. Like with my personality and this is a platform, I can do this. And everybody kept telling me, there's no money in Strongman. There isn't any. And there really wasn't. There was no money in Strongman until I made money in Strongman. Like
really
brought it into, there were several other people, but like what we did was we cultivated a whole new era of Strongman. Was before, like even like Pujanowski was a guy who got a lot of attention because he looked just shredded, jacked. But I mean, if you, he's got like a Cribs episode that they did in Poland, and he's got this tiny little house with like little knickknacks and stuff he's so proud of. It's really weird. It's crazy. But like even then, he's 5-time World's Strongest Man winner. There's really no money in that.
I would have thought he would have been balling out of control.
You would think so.
Because I know who he is. I feel like if I know who you are and you do something on TV, you must be rich.
Yeah, exactly. That's the rapper's display.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm flying in first class, and then you catch little Bow Wow in the back.
Well, I remember one of the weird things that I read about Pujanowski is how much candy he eats.
Huh.
Yeah, and that he really likes candy in between workouts because he's blowing out so much sugar that he would eat chocolate bars.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We do a lot of, I do peanut butter and honey, stuff like
okay.
that. During competition, peanut butter and honey are Snickers bars.
Really?
Yeah.
And now, when you eat peanut butter and honey, you eat it with a spoon? Like,
I usually make the sandwiches. I see guys just pouring honey in their mouth, like the Russian guys. there's a Russian guy who was Russian Secret Service for a while, and oh yeah, like you look in his eyes, you're like, this motherfucker has done some bad things, but he's the nicest dude in the world. He's like the sweetest guy. He always comes over and talks to me and my family, and he doesn't speak good English, but he's really nice about trying to get his point across and everything. But that guy's done probably scary shit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There's a lot of that because we compete with people from all around the world, and we tend to forget that everywhere else there's a lot of it's normal almost to be like that in some places,
right? To survive, and if you're a giant dude, it's probably the best way to make a living.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so they just squirt honey in their mouth?
Yeah, they'll just pour like a whole little canister of honey and just take that. You see guys do that right before they go lift and stuff. The way I grew up and the way I did things, like I was always taught, and it kind of worked with being broke, but like a warrior goes to war hungry. That's like in football, I would never eat before a game, ever. And then got into Strongman, and I did that for a long time, and I got up to 440 pounds, and I would do an entire show, like 5-6 hours without eating, but then during it I would snack a little bit, but I would never eat a meal.
Right. Because the resources, it eats up your resources, right?
Right. And see, for me, it felt like anything in my stomach just made me feel like slow.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the same with comedy too. I learned that from Cat Williams watching an interview with him. Just don't eat before you go on stage. I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're better off being hungry.
Right. Exactly.
Hunters do that too. The best hunters, they hunt hungry.
Yeah. See, but what happened to me was I lost 80 pounds. I was 440. I lost 80 pounds. And when I got hurt in Botswana, I lost all that weight. And
just because of the bicep tear?
No, I chose to do that. See, when I graduated high school, I was 370 pounds. So I've always been a big dude. But I got up to 440, and just walking around was laborious, I felt like fucking horrible.
How big were you when you did that log press?
That log press, that was like 425-ish, 430, right around that. So like I gained a little bit more after that. Everyone tells you in the sport, the bigger you are, the stronger you are. And that kind of holds true to static lifting, like kind of. It's not necessary all the time, but it kind of holds true. But we got to move, man. Like we're talking about pulling a truck and doing load events and all that stuff. When you're 440 and your body's not agreeing with that 440, it holds you back.
You want to imagine the load on your joints too.
Yeah.
Particularly lower back.
Yeah, my low back was bad.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. I got hurt, and I felt like I was done because my low back, I'd have to take me like 45 minutes to get out of bed in the morning.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I was messed up, man. Really bad.
Did you get an MRI?
I never got an MRI and didn't. I'm scared to.
Suck it up.
Exactly. Just fucking roll.
How'd you fix it?
When I lost weight, it got better, and it's core strength for me now. Core strength and stretching, and also I smoke weed. Like a lot of athletes are against it, and a lot of people think that there's some like negative connotation with being like someone who smokes weed. But I mean, I'm watching guys take Vicodin like it's Skittles. I've seen guys throw away their lives, their families, their career over a bunch of pills because they didn't want to smoke, and it's crazy.
It is crazy.